Holmes, law, man. We bring the law to this mother.
Yes, indeed.
Hold on. We're waiting right here for laws to get up. Come on,
come on,
baby.
Verizon. Come on, baby. Come on.
See, I T-Mobile, man. That T-Mobile is up here in the house.
I used to call T-Mobile terrible.
You talking about your law?
But it seems like, there we go.
All right, Law's in here in the house.
Yeah.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes, like I said, here with my man, Law Nation. Law, man. I'm sad, man.
Hey, before we get started, man,
Okay.
let's just go ahead and cheers, man. Yeah.
You know, Cowboys make you drink, David.
Make you drink.
Bartender, keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Yes,
Because
indeed.
they're making me drink like crazy. Law,
Talk to me, man.
I got to say something that I don't recognize practice anymore.
You talking about practice.
They don't practice. What are you talking about? Listen, where's my gassers? Look, wait, where's my Tennessee drills? Where's my
Oklahoma.
bull in the ring?
You don't get none of that, man. You don't get no Oklahoma drill,
Okay.
none of that. Go ahead, break it down.
Okay, so you know, you were here last week, and then those were all like walkthroughs, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
You know, because they're ramping it up, so I figured they're gonna ramp it up. So that's why I said, hey, I'm gonna get here. You know, we're gonna have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're gonna be practicing hard because I used to have 2-a-days,
Right.
and they called a special team practice in the middle. All those have padded practice. I mean, they're padded. I think we actually did more work in 2 days than they've done in 2 weeks. No, think about that. Look, padded practice Monday, padded practice Tuesday, mock scrimmage.
Yup.
And I was like, mock
Walkthrough.
what?
Mock
Mock scrimmage? I mean, I saw more action in a mock draft.
Look,
Okay, and then they had a good practice yesterday, and then we had, at least they didn't call it a scrimmage, it was a walkthrough.
It was a walkthrough,
They got a walkthrough
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're off on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
They'll have a padded practice Monday, and Tuesday is it a practice for the break?
it is. But it's going to be just like what we've seen today.
So you're telling me you got 4 padded practices,
Right?
then they're going to go with San Diego, Chargers.
Chargers.
They should never left San Diego because the weather is beautiful in San Diego. I'm sorry, Los Angeles, but it's hot up there in Los Angeles. But
No
anyway,
doubt.
then they'll have a couple practices with them and then the game.
The game.
How do you learn anything?
You don't. You got to learn it on the fly, and this is the sacrifice that the NFL kind of laid to the players. They said, okay,
Right.
we're going to take away the preseason game. We're going to make practice soft for you. S-O-F-T,
I'm talking-
soft. We're going to make it soft for you. And then on top of that, when you think about it, you're going to have an extra game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's
we're
what-
going to let you smoke.
yeah, that's right. Pass the Dutchie from the left, and you can pass it from the right too. But pass the Dutchie. Yeah. So that was where they teach the players into getting that extra game, But
And the players
nobody
are-
wants to practice. But I just don't know how you can learn that much. Now I tell you what I did like seeing today after practice was seeing Dak Prescott and the offensive line. Without the coaches, they were, starters. They were out there actually just kind of, working on the time and working on the snaps. First step or two, at least trying to get in some extra work. And man, I can't think of his name. Number 3,
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace Houston.
Yeah, there you go. Houston getting that extra work and practice one-on-one and stuff on there.
Right. I see a lot of promises out of him. Everybody, you got to contextualize the fact that this guy went undrafted, rookie free agent, who also is ahead of Noah Brown, also ahead of Simi Fehoko. In my opinion, from what we were able to see in practice, he is ahead of Jalen Tolbert. That is what
He's got great
all work
size
and
to him,
determination. Yeah, and he's good in and out of his cuts. So if I could take anything away from practice, I can tell you that Dennis Houston is that guy.
Right. Definitely. Here's the thing. You get like a certain narrative. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're trying to get rid of some of that light. See if I can be an eclipse. I'm a fat ass. I can kind of block out the sun here. Okay.
We got some people in the house, man. We got some people in the house.
I hope she's a group. You get a certain narrative from some of the writers and things out there that everything is beautiful, hunky-dory, and everything like that.
Right.
And sometimes it's not exactly as everybody sees it. Now, like yesterday was actually a little bit more heated of a practice. Micah actually got a little heated. Did you see him kind of He was a little upset there.
He was him and J-Ron Curse and Trayvon Diggs yesterday.
Oh, Diggs. Did they bring the burn cream truck?
Hey, it was practice,
okay,
man.
to understand something. What you see when it's a one-on-one drill like that, the quarterback is not getting, molested. He's got all day. In a route like that, you sometimes you coming over the top and getting extra help and stuff. So it's not actually an equal type, real game type situation.
Right.
The offensive advantage is truly on those plays. So don't go through and say, oh my God, we need, trade him. Trade Diggs. Get rid of him.
Get rid of Diggs. No.
Again. And the thing is,
don't be that fan.
Also, too, they will set up days of practice where we're going to be focusing in on this on the offense, so we're going to do kind of a vanilla defense, and we don't want you to really go out because we're trying to install and try different things. And they will try players out, with the starters and things like that to see what they have as they start trying to evaluate, because they're still evaluating who's going to be on this team and who's not going to be on this team. So don't get too excited or too upset by what you see. Basher had that incredible touchdown catch, but the reality is he's actually way down the line of the receivers when you start looking at the everyday, every count catching it. Jalen Tolbert, I think, right now, but it's safe to say that he's number 2?
He's number 2. He's still number 2, although Dennis Houston is getting some quality reps. I think that the lineup will be CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, and then, of course, Dennis Houston or Noah Brown or TJ Basher, depending on how they line up and who's going to play the actual X role in this wide receiver grouping. So it is what it is. We would know more about this team next week.
I'd like to know how bad Jake Ferguson's hamstring is.
It's bad right now.
We've been seeing him every day on the bands on the field by himself.
Yeah.
Speaking of by himself, were you watching Anthony Barr, our latest piece out there?
Number 51.
He was kind of by himself. Occasionally one of the new guys come by and give him a little flipper or something. He had paperwork out there and just observing, and wasn't too far from Mike McGovern. What's your thoughts on him being signed on here? I got my own opinion that I think is the best thing for Mike Parsons, but I want to hear what the law has to say about it.
First and foremost, Anthony Barr was the first Michael Parsons when he was drafted. He runs a 4.4 40. That's fast for a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", close to that range. And he was the guy that played close to the Ray Lewis, of course, right? Some people said, y'all Ray Lewis. Anthony Barr he will allow Ray Lewis first. He will allow Michael Parsons to fly around and do his thing, shoot through the C or the B gap. He will allow Michael Parsons to also line up and shoot through the A gap, because now when the quarterback is on the opposite side and they got to identify the Mike, guess what? It could be Barr, it could be Parsons, it could be J-Ron Curse. I love versatility, and that is what my
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think the key here also too is Dan Quinn is Mr. Fast and physical guy. He loves guys that are fast. I saw them doing a couple of defenses. Now maybe this was just kind of like playing around and stuff, but they had basically like one down lineman, and they had 4 guys coming in standing up. They did a lot of work with the dummies, where they have, they got Dante Fowler out there, they got Sam Williams over there, and they have, of course, Micah. So you got like 4 linebackers that are standing up and to be opportunistic to get these takeaways. And if you look at this defense, the way it's being built, each of them are very, very quick for their side. And they're going to be able to get up. What's going to happen is when they start focusing on trying to stop him, you can't stop Sam Williams and D-Law both. You can't double team everybody. And that's going to make them into some mistakes.
You can't double team
Anthony Barr, I noticed that. He's another one of those tall. I mean, I was just like amazed. Hell, if it doesn't work out in football, we got a basketball team, damn it. I'm serious. We got enough height out here to be a basketball team.
We do.
Am I crazy? I'm not joking.
No.
These guys are tall, and they fast too. But I really wanted to see more one-on-one battles and see more hitting and stuff, but that's just not the case anymore. So, would you recommend people coming out to practice in training camp?
I would recommend people to come out to practice for these things right here. Don't look at the collective, look at the individual. Look at the player on how they are able to elevate their game, alignments and assignment. Did they move up from the third team to the second team, from the second team to the first team? These are valuable pieces that you can see with your eyes versus listening to someone else's story. I always tell people it's good to be out there to physically see with your own personal, I guess, experience now. One thing I can tell you too, Mark, you wouldn't have known that Big Ridgeway pushed back Zach Martin if you had not been out here. Talk to me about that. Talk to the nation about that.
I told you guys, I'm going to start calling him Mountain. And quite frankly, shout out to, oh my God, Cowboys VA. Okay. See, I tell you what, I got the greatest fans in the world. Okay. Here's what Cowboys VA, because I said the defensive linemen, they get no love. You go through where, Jerry Jones used to have all the fun things on. Now it's all the shops and stuff. You see all the jerseys. Of course, you see Micah's, you see Zeke's, you see Dak's on. I don't see no Ridgeway. I don't see no Gallimore jerseys. Nobody gives. Look, they so bad on the defensive line.
Right.
They put them in the corner, and then they got covers over there, so you can't even see. I'm like, look. I'll tell you what. See this guy here? Don't show me. Oh, okay. All right. Look. Yes, sir.
We got problems.
I'll tell you what. And I'm going to tell you because Charles Haley. He don't do it. I'm telling you. Put it out. Show me. No problem. No problem. No. But seriously, you can't even see them working out the sled stuff. That's what I came here for. They blocked that shit out. And that's why I was like, hey man, can I go over there? No, you can't go over there. I'm like, okay. All right. But they don't get any love. But John Ridgeway, I'm going to call him the Mountain. But I'm saying Cowboys VA, he went out, he ordered made a John Ridgeway jersey. He got it in hand on Friday. He tried to overnight it FedEx to my house on Saturday before I left. FedEx, dropped the ball. It didn't come till Tuesday. So I didn't have it. So I was like, man, that'd be cool to wear to practice. Because I guarantee if John Ridgeway sees you wear it, wait a minute, somebody wearing my jersey? Oh, what? He would have come over to sign it.
Yeah, he would have came over to sign it though.
He is big. But not just big. It's kind of funny the way he's built because his legs, it's like his upper body hasn't grown into his legs yet. And if his upper body ever grows into that, be scared because those legs are so strong. He ended up hitting Zach Martin and just almost it was almost the anti-Tristan Hill. Okay, he ended up laying the low. See, this is where we have not had this anybody that can push him.
Everybody asking where we are at. We are here live at Oxnard, Red Door Robin.
That's right. I'm gonna bring some spray paint and start painting out here. So you'll be hearing the Jobu Shop. There you go. But no, hey. Oh man, I thought I had me a group tonight. I was like, hey, how you doing?
Come on here, come on, get in the hot seat. Come on right here.
But yeah, come on in the hot seat here. See, look.
Hot seat just that. Hot seat time. I want to get jerked off here out here 2 days now.
The Wi-Fi, they're saying the Wi-Fi is off on here.
I got another rum and coke coming too.
Okay.
Might take an hour, but we might get
the signal's not good. The signal's not good. On the concrete in this concrete jungle here. Okay. We're gonna go outside. Huh? But you do look. No, trust me. I knew Charles Haley back in the day. I could jam you. Yeah, you got that look. You got the smile, but you also got that serious look.
You guys going out there, back?
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
The signal's bad inside.
Yes.
Okay. We're going outside.
Bring you another drink.
All right, let's see if this get a little bit better.
A little bit better.
Heat. It ain't no, listen, we is in Oxnard, man. There ain't no heat out here.
Yeah. The only heat is what we bring, baby.
Heat. There we go. Look, it's in fact, I brought some long sleeve shirts and a sweatshirt because it's so chilly out here.
Let's go with it.
All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better here, signal wise. We decided we were going to sit at the bar because people buying drinks and everything else.
Yeah, we don't want we didn't want to let the sponsor leave us.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to make it look good for them. So, we were talking about John Ridgeway for the first time. And I've been, I used to scream about like Calais Campbell.
Right.
When Calais was leaving the Cardinals, I was like, if you want to get somebody, get Calais Campbell. Oh my God. Oh man, God. Calais, he only gets like 6 or 7 sacks. He's old. He's a bum. And the year after he left that, he was a runner-up for MVP.
Deep voice.
And had like 15 sacks. It's like, I pat myself on the back. But we have not had a presence in the middle. And I know he's a late round draft pick, but this is where I honestly believe that Dan Quinn is the coach in waiting.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn seems to get what he wants as far as players go. And I think if he said tomorrow, I want Ndamukong Suh, that I think that the Cowboys would probably do it.
I think so, they will, but here's the thing.
But I'm not saying he wants it, but I'm just saying that he's got that kind of pull.
My only kickback on Dan Quinn, I like Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator. I definitely don't like Dan Quinn, the head coach. I
agree with you on that.
Hat,
yeah.
Not with multiple hats,
I agree, because he is so, I'm telling you, when I look at Kellen Moore, Kellen Moore is I really watched him a lot yesterday. I tried to make a point of watching Kellen Moore. So you can't help but see Dan Quinn. Because Dan Quinn, he's all that energy and everything. He's got the little walkie-talkie, and he's like, he's really, it's like, slow down, dude. So, you're my age. You're like in the mid-50s, man. Don't have a heart attack.
Right.
Kellen Moore is kind of more.
He whispers. Yeah. He need one of these.
And it's kind of like, are you really in charge?
Yeah,
do you command the respect?
Yeah.
Do you command the respect of the players like that? Now, I do know that Dak Prescott, this is what somebody who called me earlier today was telling me, that he really and truly, respects and loves working with Kellen Moore and stuff.
Right,
so, I'm not going to dispute that at all. But I'm still wondering, who are the dogs in our offense?
Oh, that's
do
good.
we have?
You
you think about Michael Irvin.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
You think about the Des Bryant. CD.
He ain't the dog.
Not yet. You got to throw him the ball, though, Mark, if you're going to make him a dog.
You're not dropping.
But I don't know.
Mark, you got to focus on it. If you're gonna make him a dog,
no. See.
You gotta target him.
You're missing.
If you're gonna make him a dog.
When I say the dog, that is the guy who is Charles Haley is a dog.
Yeah.
See, and I'm going to tell you, because we were talking even about practice, okay?
Practice, yeah.
All right, let me tell you a story, because a lot of you Law Nation people, people on Jobu Sports, you've heard this story, okay, before. And that's where my man, when I said he looked like Charles Haley, and he said, don't put the camera on me, I was like, okay.
Yeah, he
looked like Charles. Now Charles, he's getting medication now. He's not as crazy as he used to be.
Yeah.
But Charles is crazy. Charles hit a man so hard he turned into a cheerleader. In practice.
Not again. He was crazy though, Mark.
No, listen.
He was crazy for real.
We had a wing back because we ran a wing T offense. Wing back, he actually gave Charles a good block, knocked him down. We had Omni Turf, which is backfield with sand, not like the rubber, not the soft shit that these guys got. We had sand in it. You get like the strawberry birds and shit on it.
The real strawberries back there.
Charles got up and dusted that shit off and said, Blank, I'm not gonna say the guy's name. I'm gonna fuck you up. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss. Charles came through there and hit him. He went over and was carried off in a stretcher, ended up messing up the guy. We're talking in practice.
Practice, not a game.
Carried him off in a stretcher, and they said, if you ever get hit in the neck again, you're gonna be paralyzed. And he became a male cheerleader.
Yeah.
And that was just at the beginning of male cheerleaders. So Charles, in practice, you better, I don't care, and this is where he had problems in San Francisco, because he was all about winning. Well, he was going to be in your face if Mark, you weren't doing your shit. And I don't see that on anybody in the offense just yet.
I absolutely get all of that. But how do we find that dog mentality like a Michael Irvin on this offense? Because how do you find that? Tyron Smith, he's a
somebody has to say, I'm going to be in your face. Des Bryant is that kind of guy. I don't know who it is. That's the problem.
To be honest,
Michael Parsons is on the defense.
To be honest, it's got to be Dak. Dak has got to be the guy. But to my point to you, Mark, is that Kellen Moore has to grow this year and not just
doubt.
he can't do the Jason Garrett offense and take what the defense gives him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be that dog to say, hey, I'm going to target CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to move CeeDee Lamb around. I'm going to target Tony Pollard. I'm going to move him around. I'm going to get him out in space.
Yeah.
He has to game plan to that, to make these guys dogs. Because the defense is going to game plan to take away CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
They're going to game plan to take away Tony Pollard. You can't let that happen. And you need to get with Dak and say, look, Dak, we're going to force the ball to CeeDee Lamb. We're going to force it to him.
Well, see, here's
Just like the Rams did in the Super Bowl.
He don't do that, though. That's not
What did the Rams do in the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, I feel what you're
What did
saying.
they do?
I feel what you're saying. But see, here's my worry about Kellen Moore, and it was the same kind of worry I had about Jason Garrett. Okay, you looked at Jason Garrett's experience. He was backup quarterback for the Cowboys. He went to the Giants for a couple of years. He was the quarterback's coach for 1 year under Nick Saban, and then all of a sudden he gets the kingdom of being offensive coordinator for the Cowboys and then head coach. So as I look at the pedigree,
Just go get this one more break.
there we go. As I look at the pedigree of Kellen Moore being basically a backup quarterback for
I'm wetting it up on that.
That's okay. That's okay.
being a backup quarterback
Moore
for the
being one of
Lions, and then working with Scott Linehan, and now being here, you are what your experiences teach you.
Yeah, facts.
And so, what is it that says being a quarterback for the Lions and working for Scott Linehan says I'm going to be a genius offensive coordinator?
Well, let me ask you this, then, Mark. What did Mike McCarthy do when he was with Green Bay and won the Super Bowl?
But here's the thing, though.
What did he do?
But see, here's the difference, though.
What did he do?
Oh, hold on. But at least Mike McCarthy had experiences growing up, being at different position coaches.
49ers.
The 49ers.
He's a head coach.
Saints.
He's supposed to take. Come here, young fella. Come here, Thundercat.
Yeah, but what I'm
Let me
saying,
show you something. I
here's
won a
what-
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let me show you a little
And
something.
that's my thing right here. You got a guy. Okay. You
on.
got. Okay,
Hey,
so, hold on.
when y'all get finished with that, I got something.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So you got a guy who worked with Brett Favre, and you got a guy who worked with Aaron Rodgers,
Yes.
right? Okay, and he went up the chain of being, a quarterbacks coach, a wide receivers coach, offensive coordinator, and then head coach. So you've had experience on the job training. Jason Garrett didn't have any experience becoming head coach.
But you making my point with Mike
Okay.
McCarthy. He's done all that. Why can't he take him under his wing
Thank you.
and say,
Hey!
hey,
Thank you. I'm asking the same question.
Let me be the neutral.
Talk to me, Long. Talk
I'm
to
gonna
me.
talk to you. You remember the
Let me
first
drink
few
on this
weeks?
one.
Go ahead. You remember the first few weeks of the season?
Yep.
A lot of fans were saying, "Why do we even need Mike McCarthy?"
We did.
They was calling Kellen Moore
Boy
and
genius.
Dan Quinn the boy genius
We
there.
did. We did.
And then when Mike McCarthy said, "Oh, so that's how y'all feel? Oh, that's how y'all gonna take it? Oh, y'all don't need me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't need me? I'm gonna tell you what.
I'm gonna step
I'm
away.
gonna step away, and I'm gonna
He's a head
allow.
coach. Oh, he can't do that.
I'm gonna allow the
He
young
can't do that.
kid.
He's a head coach.
Hey, even,
No, but I tell you what, though.
even the guy allowed the guy to say, okay, he wanted his blessings early in the Bible. He said, okay, you the prodigal son. I'm gonna give you your riches. I'm gonna give you your wealth. I'm gonna allow you to see the world for itself. And that is exactly what happened. to
And he
Kellen
lets
Moore.
you
allowed
know that at the close of the prophets. They said,
but
well, how
hold
come you're not calling plays? He
But
said,
hold on.
because the installer calls the plays.
But hold
Okay.
on. God, Jerry Jones came out and said, I got prospects. I got options now.
Okay.
So you put yourself in a situation to where you now have the owner doubting you because you didn't take that young man under his wing and say, look, starting with the Denver game,
Right.
when we saw two deep zones, we act like we've never seen it before.
Well,
Okay,
the
but
only
wait.
thing.
But we're talking about an owner who had a Super Bowl champion back-to-back winning coach and fired him. So how are you going to take what Jerry Jones says?
Yeah.
And now, of course, it's calling him sniveling. Okay? All right? So what do you expect? If you're going to say that about Jimmy Johnson, you'll say stuff about anybody.
True. But he is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes,
He's
he
still
is.
calling the shots.
The biggest problem.
Now
with
you got
Kellen
Sean
Moore,
Payton rumors going around.
The biggest
Because you didn't take
problem
that
with
man up under
Kellen
your wing,
Moore
Mark.
is
Your
that
number
they
one's
want
gonna cost you.
success, but they try to take shortcuts to success, and there's no shortcuts to
No.
success. I asked a guy who's a big fan of the Washington Commanders. He is there like Law of Nations over
Gotcha.
there, Louis T. I
Gotcha.
said, what would you do to have Sean McVay back as your coach over there.
Yeah.
He said he'll get rid of all of his coaches.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Sean McVay was there? Did you know?
Not only him,
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan.
Shanahan.
They had both of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, even the coach over there in Green Bay land, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They was all there.
But who are they under?
Under Shanahan.
Shanahan. That's
So,
a tree.
so the Shanahan tree compared to the Jason, dare I say it?
Garrett doesn't have a
Jason
tree.
Garrett tree?
Yeah.
He's not even a sapling.
Well, that's where Kellen Moore is coming from.
I agree.
And Kellen Moore is a guys. He takes the best plays.
Again,
you're
answering my
I'm gonna
own
add
question.
the best plays to my already Jason Garrett offense.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all he's doing.
I tell you what, would you have the same conversations or worries or doubts if we had Kyle Shanahan as our head coach right now?
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Mixed with Dan Quinn.
No, because guess what Kyle Shanahan does?
Yeah, what he does.
He runs the damn football.
Yep.
So the
Shout out to West
weaknesses
Coast.
that you would have in your
Shout out
offensive line,
Uh-huh.
the weaknesses that you would see in your offensive line, where we're constantly waiting on Tyron Smith to get hurt every year,
Mm-hmm.
you would have a true swing tackle up in here because you'd be not beating down Stephen Jones' door to say, "Get me a legitimate swing tackle up in here."
Well, you got to understand that we don't
Get
know.
me a legitimate.
We don't know that they're
guard
not
up in
swinging
here.
down. I mean, knocking down the doors, trying to get those guys.
You don't think Kellen Moore's really doing that, Mark? Come on. Now.
But it doesn't matter. It's deaf ears.
Huh?
You got Catboy that's going to
He
say.
don't want to run. Kellen Moore don't want to run. He don't want
when
to
they
run
go
the
for a
football,
swing
Mark.
tackle, they're going to go for somebody that's over the hill, a Taniseki or something.
Taniseki, he's
You know?
coming back, baby.
What does Kellen Moore do? What does Kellen Moore do
Listen, I'm not.
in the red zone? What do we do in the red zone?
Not much.
We get cute.
We get cute.
We get cute. Oh,
We get cute.
we get cute.
in the red zone.
Yep.
Run the damn football in the red
Yep.
Shout
zone.
out to you. We got a super chat from Jay Lombardi. He says, "Salute Law Nation. No days off." Shout out to you, Mark Holmes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Appreciate you.
We're not talking about football players then, are we?
No.
No days off.
No
Shit.
days off. No days off for us. You know, we don't have, dare I say, Jerry Wayne's budget.
No,
Shout out to
no.
Jerry.
The players, they're off on Sunday. Well, you might as well say. I mean, they technically were on today, but you know what? That was country club. This is like Camp Country Club.
Cadillac.
Okay,
Cadillac.
you know, we get 2 hours of real hitting yesterday, and you know, today you get a walkthrough, tomorrow you get a walkthrough, and Sunday you
It was
off.
really soft practice today. It was a walkthrough, and then I heard from a source that it was going to be soft again tomorrow, right?
Soft.
Fake scrimmage tomorrow.
Big scrimmage.
Yeah,
But to the Cowboys' defense,
they're trying to get the
that's
season
the
healthy.
NFL. That's the NFL policy. There.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers, I think the Rams, they all doing the same type of philosophy with their practices.
Yeah.
New collective bargaining
New
agreement.
collective bargaining.
It says, hey,
Now,
we're
now
gonna
before
be-
we found out our signal was ass. Okay.
Right.
Right.
It was terrible.
Before we found out we had the Washington Commanders, Wi-Fi signal, we were talking about how Barr fits in.
Yeah.
Now, see, I was posing this question to you, or at least my thought on what happens with Micah Parsons. Let's say hypothetically, because Micah says he's looking for 15 sacks, right? And let's say Anthony Barr is actually healthy and can play that weak side linebacker cover.
Right.
And Dan Quinn has himself the guy that he can put almost anywhere on the field and
Veteran
starts
too.
realizing
Veteran.
that he can be a defensive end, edge rusher type guy. When you look at the money for a middle linebacker, I think the highest paid is $19 million versus T.J. Watt, which is about $27 or $28 million, being an edge rusher. If Micah Parsons, let's say hypothetically, has 15, 16 sacks, how can you not have him as an edge rusher in the future going forward?
Well,
I mean, we're talking about, when you look at 14 and a half sacks of D-Law, we were like, wow, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
And before that, we had 21 from DeMarcus Ware. So in the last 15 years, that would be second all time for what we've got. How can you not make him an edge rusher?
well, I don't know, man. I think the chess piece would be to still play Parsons everywhere. And then on top of that, the other move for Stephen Jones' sake is to make sure that
He's a linebacker.
Make sure
Pay
he's
him
a
like
linebacker.
a linebacker, not an edge rusher.
Because when it's time to pay, we don't want to hear him
Talk
say,
about Cap Boy.
yeah, Cap Boy.
Yeah.
And we would like to pay him, but we got to pay such and such. We got to pay, let's say, Dennis Houston if he balls out. We got to save money for Dennis Houston. We got to save money for such and such.
or Tyler Smith.
Mhm.
So it's always money. If you talk about the money, it will be the money, right?
But
keep
see,
talking about it.
but
Keep
see,
with
here's
that
the
law.
difference.
Keep with that
Look at D-Law's contract versus damn, I keep trying to forget him.
Khalil Mack.
linebacker- No. For us, goddamn.
For us?
Jalen Smith. I mean,
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith. Look at the difference between the contracts.
Oh, it's huge.
Because that's where the real fight's going to be coming is Stephen Jones is going to pay him like a linebacker.
Well,
Mike is going to want to pay like a defensive end.
Mark, the key though is that Stephen can't be stupid like he was with Dak. Meaning he can't wait until the price goes up too much.
Hold on.
Take care of Micah early. Yeah.
Get
it done before his rookie contract.
Hold
Extend it out before
on. There is nothing out there that says that Stephen Jones won't be stupid.
Well,
There is no track record because look at what he did. He went to D-Law and said, D-Law, you got a $27 million cap hit and we got you tied up for a couple more years. How about we just give you $10 million and we'll call it even?
And Stephen Jones.
And he was like, boy, just release me. Pissed him off. J-Ron Curse. Hey, Curse, man. You had Buda Baker numbers last year and stuff, but you didn't have much before that. How about we offer you $1 million a year? And dude deleted everything he had Dallas Cowboys. Screw you, right? All right. Peace out, man.
all right.
What out there says that Stephen Jones is not going to be stupid with a contract?
Well, I would just think that he would look at Micah being one of their top sellers. He's one of their main guys. So
And Dak wasn't?
He was, but they made a mistake with Dak. And he did come back and say, I made a mistake with Dak. I should have come early with Dak.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do it with Diggs too. I think he'll sign those guys early and get them done early before their contracts are up.
At this point, it doesn't matter because you look at how the money has already exploded on the wide receivers.
That's the future on defense.
And man, that's gonna be. But here's the thing, though.
What is that?
The new money hasn't even started yet.
It has.
And there's still.
He's already $26 million.
Things have gotten quiet about DirecTV. Yeah. See, originally they were talking. DirecTV was about $1 billion a year.
Right.
We had heard that Amazon looked like they were going to be getting it at $3 billion a year, but then we heard that Google is trying to be it. So we're going to be competing.
Drive the cost up.
Oh yeah. If it only sells for $3 billion, just this one deal, I want you to understand the way it works as far as salary cap goes is gross revenue, okay, is then divided up by 32 teams.
Yes, sir.
52% goes to the owners, 48 goes to the players. If the DirecTV contract goes from $1 billion to $3 billion, you do the numbers, it comes out to $22 million on each team on the cap. Just that one deal. So look at every television contract basically doubled.
Yeah.
So in the course of 23 and 24, you're looking at about another $100 million of cap space. So this is where I understand that Stephen Jones doesn't want to overpay people and stuff, and I can understand if we were where we were before, where the salary cap would only go up about $10 million a year, before COVID. But we're talking about $100+ million. The money is going to be and you can see how most teams are structuring already saying basically we're putting multiple years on here. We're just going to get these guys signed right now. And as much as people say that Dak Prescott, oh man, he's paid too much. Right now, his contract's beginning to look dirt cheap.
It is. He's like number 7.
Right. And you still got Lamar Jackson that's out there that's going to get paid. You got the Justin Jubers. Yeah, exactly. In fact, this is where
he'll be smart.
People will go crazy, but it may be behoove the Cowboys to actually put an extension on there to kick more of that in there and get more salary cap space in the future.
When you do Dak, you better do Diggs and you better do Micah early.
Yeah.
Go ahead and re-dip it.
Yeah, and when
you just hope it doesn't end up being like a Jalen Smith type deal.
You asked a question about Micah. Mm-hmm. Should he be specifically a defensive end? I agree with Law. You gotta. This guy runs a 4-3.
Yeah.
You can't just put him on the line and let him get beat up and chipped all day long.
Right.
No.
Move him around.
You can
with him.
Hold it. You can still be a defensive end and move him around.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Basically,
you can do that, but he's also a threat covering the field in the run game. Did you see him a couple days ago run down Tony Pollard?
Oh yeah, he's really good. He's really good.
I mean, this guy runs a 4-3, and he's probably the fastest guy on your team. So when you just put him on the line of scrimmage and he's coming on either side, you limit what he could do for your defense across the entire spectrum.
with Anthony Barr there, that gives you the ability to do almost anything with him. He's now your wild card.
Van Der Esch has got to come off the field, Mark.
But
He's got to come off the field.
Here's another thing
Van
with
Der Esch got to
Anthony
come off the
Barr.
field.
Here's another thing with Anthony Barr. If he can be that bridge to Jabril Cox,
I agree.
if we can get Jabril Cox to be the next Anthony Barr,
He's your third down guy. He's your third down linebacker.
But the other thing about that,
because they go that two linebacker.
it helps you to be able to bring Jabril Cox back in slowly and not overuse that leg.
But Van Der Esch has got to come off the field on third down, guys. First and second down, you got Van Der Esch out there. Okay, third down, he's a liability.
Well, see, here's actually the great thing. If you're if you're Dan Quinn, you got to be excited because you have so many different combinations and things you can do, and you basically on the defense are too deep.
To be
the
honest,
defensive line, you have
he's
so many
deeper
guys.
than he was in Seattle.
Oh my God!
He's like looking at this, like, oh my God!
Oh yeah!
Look at the toys.
The funny thing is you won't. I mean, Micah will be a Pro Bowler, but you probably won't see a lot of Pro Bowl players because you'll end up seeing everybody splitting time. And that's where I was saying that you can't look at, say, one guy's numbers. You have to look at the position's numbers because with having like Goldston and having Dante Fowler and having Sam Williams, it may end up being that one of them gets like 6 or 7 sacks, and the other guys get 4 or 5, and nobody will say, "Oh, we don't have anybody dominant." But you look at the position of how many sacks come out of that position. You might have 15 off of one edge and 15 off of the other, hypothetically, but nobody has more than say 8 or 9.
90s Cowboys, Mark.
Right.
What was the strongest aspect?
And that was the Seattle
90s Cowboys. What was the strongest aspect of the defense?
Defensive line. That's right.
The rotation.
When you control the middle of the field, you control the field.
A lot of people don't know Jim Jeffcoat, Lonnie Tolbert. A lot of people don't know about
the rotation. Chad Hennings, Russell Maryland, Chad Hennings. Leon, they're rotating guys.
I saw Chad the other day. Chad still look like he know how to play. Chad Hennings is a big boy. He still look like, I said, Chad.
Air Force pilot.
Yeah.
Chad Hennings.
Chad. Underrated Chad Hennings.
But you can get that same type of rotation, guys.
It's deep.
With the defense. But the key to the defensive line is the push in the middle.
And that's why he was talking about
middle.
Understand.
You don't watch my channel, do you?
Hey, I do watch it. But what gave Tony Romo the biggest fits when he was quarterback for the Cowboys?
What gives Tom Brady the biggest fits?
Pressure in your face.
Every Super Bowl Tom Brady's lost, they've been defenses that can pressure the middle. Tom Brady does not like people in space, and that's why the Cowboys are going to beat
On top
Tom Brady.
of that, the most difficult thing that we struggled with in playoff games was stopping the run.
Yes.
And the run stopper came from the middle, guys. That's we gotta be able to stop it up the middle.
You're preaching Christ. Because see, here's the thing. You got the size. Did you play football?
I did.
What position did you play?
I was free safety.
Oh shit. Okay.
I was free safety.
See, you got to understand.
I was coming down like curse.
I was a nose guard, and see, being a
I was
nose
coming down like
guard.
J-Rock, man.
J-Rock,
I was coming down like J-Rock.
You have to love abuse being a nose guard. Okay, because you get hit by so many different directions, and I'm surprised because I actually saw the
You're
Cowboys.
supposed to take on blockers, so your linebackers.
I knew that, but listen, you get hit by the center, you get hit by the guard, you get hit by the other guard, you get hit by the guard in the center, you get hit by the fullback, and then these crazy motherfuckers go ahead and get you the wham block with the tight. No, this is the one that killed me. Is you get the tight end in motion, okay? So you're here. Okay, you got your face, and this is why you're angry, okay? You're angry because you got the football right here, and you can't touch it. It's like, can I just slay the football? No, you can't touch it. It's right there at your nose. You're looking at it, right? And you're expecting to get hit by the center. The ball snapped, and here's the tight end who's in motion, and he just blindsides you and just knocks you upside the head. I saw the Cowboys doing a wham block with Schultz in motion in practice. So I look at this, and I think actually the solution for Kellen Moore is going to be 12 personnel.
I got you.
And that's where I'm worried about how long Jake Ferguson is
Who's
going to
your
be
second tight end, though, Mark?
That's Jake Ferguson if he can get healthy.
It's going to be Sean McEwen for right now.
Hey,
check out
Sean who?
Sean McEwen.
Who is that?
84. Number 84.
I saw him catching balls yesterday in practice.
Look at the.
We didn't know who the hell he was. I thought it was good. I thought it was good Cosby.
Hey.
Well, if you look like Cosby, then we're okay then. Shit.
And if he can get shades of Jay Novacek, then he'll
Right.
be unbelievable.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Right. But I would
just tell me
I
something
would
else.
never put that on Sean McEwen, by the way.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
But we got to get the hamstring right for Jake Ferguson, because Jake Ferguson can block.
He can.
And if he can, and see, here's the thing, and this is where, our offense had so many problems that people don't really understand. Blake Jarwin getting hurt actually hurt our offense quite a
It
bit
did.
early on,
It did.
because
Break
he was
down.
actually that blocking tight end that helped us to be able to do the 12 personnel. Because with 12 personnel, again, I sound like a broken record, and I know that, and I'm old, and when you're old, you kind of get stuck with the same thing. You keep telling the same stories. But that 12 personnel is, we can look at the defense and go to where they're not. If I got 2 tight ends, okay, if they stay in a nickel, then I'm going to run the ball, because I got 7 big guys that are in there and just run up the middle.
But you got faith in McEwen being a good blocker, though, because Schultz is an
Oh
average
my
blocker.
God! Go look at my film review on
That's
Sean
right.
McEwen.
Check out Law.
Oh, he smashed.
Okay.
Smashes.
Okay.
Pancakes. Go look at my film review. Type in Sean McEwen. It's up there on the web, so you guys can take a look at
Okay.
it. He's a willing blocker plus a good one. And on top of that, I think that for right now, he's your tight end too. Until
Right.
Jake
Until
Ferguson
Jake Ferguson gets
get his
back.
legs
That's
up
good.
under.
And Ferguson is a great blocker,
He is.
and he's actually got pretty good hands as well.
Well, they need to be able to do adjust in that, but I also would like to see more of Tony Pollard and Zeke.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's more
But see,
20%.
here's where
22.
if you go into 12 personnel with Tony Pollard, shit, you get a heavy package against you, 8 in the box. You go ahead and you shift.
Yep.
Okay. Now I got 5 wideouts going against 8 personnel. I mean, 8 men in the box.
I got you.
With Tony Pollard basically being another receiver.
Oh, okay.
And I will
Just
say,
ace it, yeah.
that one of the reasons why the Cowboys aren't necessarily in that big rush to get another wide receiver is because of these 12 personnel, but they're also looking at Tony Pollard being kind of the anti-Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuels is a wide receiver who plays some running back. We got a running back who can play some wide receiver.
That's smart.
And see, having a guy who you don't know what they really are, to me, is better, because is he running the football? Or do I have to cover his ass?
Do we trust Boy Wonder to use him like he's supposed to?
We ain't got no choice.
Do we trust
We
him?
ain't got no
At
choice.
this point,
But
that's all we
that's
got.
my point, though. That's my point. Mike, take Thundercat under your wing.
Thundercat, no, it didn't.
And show him.
Thundercats. Okay.
Show him what the Green Bay Packers used to do with their running backs.
Yeah.
Screen left, screen right, drop off here, drop off there. That's Tony Pollard and Zeke all day.
Yeah. But now, and here's the other part too with this offense too.
I don't trust him, though. I don't trust him.
How have you felt like how Zeke's look?
Zeke looked really sharp.
I think Zeke is actually moving really, really
I
well.
agree.
Everybody
I agree.
talking about he's done and he needs.
He's not.
No.
He's not. Zeke has something
First
to
4
prove. this year.
games last year, 5.3 yard average. Before the PCL injury.
Yep.
Tyler Smith, I think he's going to be better than being a road
Why
runner.
they still got McGovern in first? Can we stop it? Stop it!
They're trying to get him some work
Stop
because
it!
okay, they're trying to
I'm
get
gonna
him some work
it!
I'm gonna
because
break that down, but go ahead.
they're trying to get him as much work to coach him up as much as possible.
Stop it,
Because
Mark. Stop
when
it.
Tyler Smith goes out, Tyler Smith's going to have to move over.
Why?
Connor-
Why? Get me a swing tackle so you don't have to move him immediately.
You got
Who you gonna
Cowboy.
Huh?
We gonna get
Can Ball not do it? If Ball can't do it, go get me a veteran.
Ball been looking like Josh Flash.
'Cause that's our problem last year. You're moving pieces around and you can't get anything.
Well,
I
you
agree.
can't-
They
here's
screwed
the
up Terrence
thing.
Steele last year by moving him from the
Yeah,
right to the
stop,
left.
stop it.
But here's the thing with
Let
Connor
Smith
McGovern.
learn the guard position and stop it.
Connor
Quit moving
McGovern last year around this time never touched the left side
He
of the
didn't.
field.
Right.
He only played at right side. He played in college center as well as right guard. So you got to look at him as a guy that now that they threw into the fire last year, he did a decent job.
You can't get
It
to
wasn't
second
a
level.
horrible job.
You can't get to
but at
second
least
But you know
now,
what?
at least now he's getting practice, quality time at their left side.
Look
he
at
never had that last year.
look at Terrence Steele from his rookie year.
Yep.
When he finally, he trial by fire.
Yeah.
Like I said, Miss Jackie was like, I'm ready to push him over a bridge, off the bridge.
Yeah.
I love you, Miss Jackie. But Miss Jackie was like, I don't want to ever see Terrence Steele on the field again. But the difference in the growth from him actually going out there from year 1 to year 2 was amazing. And it's possible that they get him some work and stuff, that he will be better than where he was and be able to get to that second level. The only way you're gonna get there is you gotta practice. You gotta at least get some time.
Well, he's been in the league 4 years, Mark. Come on, man. You are what you are, Bill Parcells. You are what you are.
Talking about Conor McGovern.
Yes, you are what you are.
He's solid. Did you blink when he got that quality rep in the first game? He took Zach Martin's
Yeah,
spot.
he did all, but after that, the run game, when they took Connor Williams out and put him in,
I mean, he never played on that side.
the run game went downhill because he couldn't get to the second
Well,
level.
the run game
agree.
went
Get to the
down because
linebackers.
they went
Yeah.
away from 12 personnel. Jarwin got
Right.
hurt. Remember,
Yeah.
we was ranked third and fourth
And-
rushing all the way up into that Denver Broncos.
Right.
Yeah, you did. But the knock on him was he couldn't get to the second level, get to the linebacker.
What we did in that Denver Broncos game? Let me know. With the front five, and I ain't talking about nothing else. What we do?
Did
Remember?
nothing. When I remember.
No. We played musical chairs. Remember?
Okay, yeah.
They kicked Terrence Steele to the left side.
Right.
And I talked to Duke Manningweather the day before the game because we did this event,
Yeah.
and Duke said, "I'm not comfortable. I'm flat out not comfortable with Terrence Steele playing on that left side."
Yeah.
And then he gave the analogy of when you sit down on the toilet, use your opposite hand to wipe
Oh my goodness.
and see how good it would be.
I usually say
my
just,
goodness.
write with your left hand and then write with your right hand and see how it looks, okay? Why you gotta be wiping your ass? I mean, damn. So that's an old school coach right there.
Yeah, old
Okay,
school.
sit your ass on the toilet, try and wipe with the other hand.
Wipe with your other hand. Watch, somebody gonna be if you're sitting on the toilet now, use your opposite hand.
Get your antibiotic serum ready or your soap ready.
Yeah.
Antibacterial
It ain't gonna
That's
be
a
as
hell of an
clean.
analogy there.
It ain't gonna be as clean as it used to be.
See, that's old school football right there. That's the kinder, gentler football we talking about nowadays.
No,
Man.
But you know who Duke Manningweather?
Oh, yeah,
is.
sure.
Duke.
It was some good
Shout out
material
to
they
you.
put out. It was
Shout
great
out to you.
material he put out on what he's doing with Tyler Smith and Biotish.
Yeah,
I was
Right.
impressed with today, y'all, when I saw Biotish.
yeah.
Biotish put a little muscle
He
on.
really
Man.
got a little girth in him.
Yeah.
He put a
Look,
little muscle on, a little weight.
the thing is with Biotish last year, his biggest thing was he was just like Connor Williams 2.0. He had 11 penalties. No center in the National Football
Yeah.
League had more penalties than him. But guess what, Cowboy Nation? He didn't allow a single sack.
Yeah.
That's the positive.
Yeah.
He didn't allow a single sack, and he only allowed 4 hits on the quarterback. So that's pretty good stats for trying to be honest. But now Tyler, he's going to have
That's taking
other
it
Tyler
trouble.
beside him, and then he should be more comfortable
Zach
playing
Martin on
with
the
Zach
other
Martin on
side.
the opposite side,
Yeah.
or next to him. So I can't wait for Tyler to step it up. I know that a lot of people want to get him up out of there, but last year was also collectively his first year.
But here's the thing, folks. This is what happened.
Go ahead.
But game 3, we're going to a couple days before the game. Tyron Smith, probably.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith. I mean, Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith, 77.
Yeah.
For game 3. Sunday morning, Tyron Smith's out.
We know that, so.
Well, come on, it's coming.
Let me ask you this. though.
How do we adjust? What's the adjustment?
How did Tyron Smith got hurt last year?
Ankle. Rolled up on his ankle.
You gotta
Was
roll
it his
up.
fault?
No, Connor Williams rolled up.
Connor Williams. Do we have Connor Williams on this team anymore? No, I said Connor Williams.
So you saying he's gonna stay healthy all year long? Come on. You saying Tyron Smith gonna stay healthy? You gonna bet your house?
No, they ain't.
You gonna bet your house?
No way.
Come
Not
on,
about the
Long.
house, but,
No, I ain't gonna bet the house, man.
What
but
you gonna bet on?
allegedly,
Nothing,
allegedly,
nothing. I can't. Look, Tyron.
Come on, he's gonna be hurt.
Oh my
they've
God.
worked
Yeah,
on his
what do
flexibility
you
more
do?
than ever. You know,
What do you
certain
do when that
training.
happens? You don't move Tyler Smith, who's
Josh Ball,
playing well.
baby. Josh Ball.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
but
drafted
Tyler
him.
Smith's gonna be playing. We're gonna see some pancakes. He's gonna be playing well at guard.
I know.
And then you're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna do what?
You got
You're gonna switch it because that's what they always do.
No, we
Look.
can't do that.
Look, we got to have. Look, I always tell people it's better.
We
to
gotta
be,
have a swing
I
tackle.
always tell people it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than
I
have the
agree.
opportunity and not be prepared.
Yeah, that-
But this point in time, right now,
Amen.
you better be training Josh Ball to be
Thank
that
you.
left tackle. Now, Josh Ball
You be a
had his
veteran,
points.
too, though, Law.
But-
You be a
but-
veteran.
But okay.
Who better?
But
Who's out
yeah,
there?
again,
But
you're gonna get the
preseason's
top.
over.
Yeah, but
We're gonna have some
listen,
cuts.
if you're good, okay, if you're good, you're on a team.
Right.
I mean,
True.
we've gone through. No, but go. Okay, there's not a lot of good ones that are out there. I mean, again, you got your Ty Nsekhe's out there and stuff like that.
You might cut somebody by the end of the preseason because of financial reasons.
You might, but I can look at when we went through in 2020 and we brought in Emerson Griffin, we brought in Dontarie Poe, we brought in Clinton Ha-Ha-Dix. You know, all these guys that were actually starters the year before and names that you knew, and they didn't bust a grade.
I agree.
So, you know, when you start looking around and saying,
but they were early on, though. You brought them in early on.
You brought them in early on, right, when you thought that they were going to be good.
Yeah.
So here we are in the middle of training camp. You know, there's not a great tackle that's out there that's ready to go through there.
It's not,
unless you try and trade for somebody.
But come on, Mark. It ought to be somebody to the level of Ball or better.
There ought to be, yes.
A veteran at the level of this guy, he's done nothing.
Okay, well, here's the other problem.
But
here at least, I'm going to give you the opposite argument.
Cowboys.
Here at least, though, at least Ball knows the terminology, knows the plays and everything else. You're bringing in somebody now, Cole, that you've got to spend more time and resources in to try and get them up to speed.
True.
Because in football, you know, you can have just one guy mess up the play, and you can end up getting your quarterback killed.
True.
And
but
so
you feel confident putting Ball out there on.
I'm not confident.
I'm
praying.
Listen,
I got Jobu over there with the chicken wings and everything else, and the sage that he's trying to smoke to make sure that Tyron Smith stays healthy. Okay, that's my hope. You know, and I'm trying.
It hadn't happened the last 5 years.
But you know what? The sixth time's going to be the charm.
It hasn't happened the last 5 years.
That's
fool's gold.
That
is fool's gold.
Listen, man.
You're buying into Jerry and Stevens'
I understand.
propaganda.
Believe me, look. It's not like I'm not happy about it, but see, look. Let me tell you my analogy here. Okay,
talk to me.
All right, my beautiful wife is in there.
Yes, sir.
I love my wife.
Yes,
I
sir.
am so happy. I would not trade her in for nobody.
Yes,
But you know, there's some shit that she does that I can't stand.
Understood.
Okay,
Understood.
that just bothers the fuck out of me,
Understood.
right?
Understood.
And that's the Cowboys. Okay, I know. Believe me, I look at this right now and say, you know what? Right now, Matthew Stafford's got a mysterious elbow injury.
Yep.
He ain't practicing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Their wide receiver Jefferson, he had knee surgery. In the off season, but it's not healing right. He may have to have another surgery right now.
Yep.
Okay? They don't have Odell, although they might bring him back, but it'll be after we play him, right?
Yep.
They don't have Von Miller. So I look and say they're also that nobody's repeated the Super Bowl since New England back in 2003 and 4, right?
Gotcha.
Okay. So I say, maybe you got a chance against the Rams, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You know, the 49ers, they're going to Trey Lance.
Yep.
I don't really have that much faith in him being that guy and knowing that Kyle Shanahan is up and down every year with his team. Okay?
Agreed.
I look at Green Bay Packers and say, you know, they lost Devontae Adams. As much as we talk about CeeDee Lamb, I think losing Devontae Adams is a bigger loss. And by the way, for those out there say, I'll take trade for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers lost to the same team that we did, and his numbers weren't anywhere close to Dak Prescott. But be that in the May. I say you got a chance against Green Bay. I look at our division. Forget this bullshit about the Eagles being so great. They got Hurts as a quarterback. He sucks. He's sorry. It's not going to happen. Okay?
Get it.
All right? So where I look at it, and then I look at Tampa Bay. Hold on. I look at Tampa Bay. In Tampa Bay, I say, you know what?
We hold
Godwin is still recovering. He's like in the same boat as Michael Gallup. He's not going to be ready. Gronk's not there. They got Kyle Rudolph. That ain't the same. That ain't the same. Not even close.
Mike Evans is still there.
Well,
Mike Evans. Yes, you have Mike Evans.
Oh, so where you heading to?
But they didn't. When they beat us, they had Antonio Brown. They had
He's trying
Gronk.
to say we got a shot the first 4 games.
Well, not just the first 4 games. I look at the NFC. Where do you tell me there's a juggernaut team in the NFC? Now, people will say the Rams, but if you got Matthew Stafford with a bad elbow that might linger and so on, I look at this and say, this is the best year. This is the best year to say, you know what? Let me push all the chips in here. Let me go ahead and say, I'm going to make sure I got a backup swing tackle in here and invest some money on it, okay? Let me say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do not necessarily Odell, but I'm going to go ahead and get me another receiver and put the chips in here. That's what I would do and say, this is the best chance right now because of the way the conference is. But that's not what the Cowboys do.
In the NFC right now?
In the NFC, we ain't talking about AFC.
No, it's still the Rams. They're the Super Bowl champs.
Just because they're Super Bowl champs?
Well, no, they still deep. I mean, they still got 2 Hall of Fame defenders. you know,
So
on their
it's-
defense.
Okay,
It's-
Ramsey's recovering from shoulder surgery.
But he'll be back. He'll be
Okay,
back.
all right.
So,
So-
then you
so
got
Rams
the
is
best.
the only
Aaron
team to
Donald's
beat.
still the best defensive player in the league.
Who the second team?
Second team.
Exactly.
Cowboys!
Exactly.
Cowboys, baby!
Hey, I'm a
Gotta be
diehard.
Cowboys.
I'm a diehard. But I ain't
Tampa?
drank the Kool-Aid.
What about
because-
Tampa?
I would not Tampa. I would say
You said Green Bay, right?
I say Green Bay.
So you got
Because Green Bay
Rams-
defense has got 10 times
I
better.
do
Okay.
like they didn't
They defense has gotten 10 times better.
So you say Rams, Packers,
Yeah.
who third?
Third is kind of up in the air there.
Tampa
still.
Bay.
Tampa Bay's there. We're close.
Who's fourth?
Brady's up there.
I would say we're in the top 5.
So you still
Right.
say the 49ers ahead, or what are you trying to go?
Until we
So-
knock them, until we
so
go hit the
if you're
49ers in
saying-
the mouth and show them that we're tougher than we were last year, yes, they're better than us. Until we go hit them in the mouth.
I think you got to always prove it, you know.
Yeah,
So
right.
We gotta go hit them in the
now
mouth.
I heard your rebuttal on the front end. So you saying that we are ultimately the team to beat?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you
but
didn't
I
say
said,
that.
but
Oh,
I'm saying that you are in that mix of those teams.
But we
and
gotta
say,
make some. We gotta make some.
why not go ahead and say? I mean, I don't understand. Like, if you're Washington and forever they were just trying to grab free agents to sell tickets and things like that.
Right,
You
right,
look at this and say, you got great starters right now. The problem for the Cowboys for years has not been the starting lineup. It's been when you have Tyron Smith go to Chaz
what I'm telling you,
Green.
Mark.
When you lost to Sean Lee, where you were
gotta
only
make-
giving up 83 yards, and you go to a no-name, and
Don't
now you're
bet
giving
your
up
house on Tyron
183.
Smith playing at
Okay,
17 games.
so yes, I would cover it. I would cover and go ahead and say,
You have
push
to.
the check, but I'm
You
not Stephen
have to.
Jones. I don't have the checkbook.
But you trust balls?
I mean, I got no choice but to.
Oh, we can't.
If I were
let me
running
even
it,
ask you
no,
a better
I would
question.
not.
Let me ask you a better question, Mark. What's our offensive lineman? What's the offensive line's head coach? What's the offensive line?
Oh, Joe Feedman.
He should have been gone, y'all. He's the coach's buddy. He should have been gone. He's trash.
You're preaching to the choir on
He
that.
is trash.
Preaching to the.
He should have been gone.
I like Colombo.
Okay.
You know,
All
it's
Colombo.
He's trash.
I like
But
Colombo.
do you see me wearing a
We got our
hold
offensive
on.
lineman got to go to a side coach.
Do you see me wearing a
Duke,
cap
I'm
here?
sorry, Duke, but our offensive linemen have got to go to side coaches like Duke Merriweather, then fool with our own offensive line
Okay.
coach.
Do you see me wearing a cap here? Has anybody called me Cat Boy?
No cap.
Because I don't make the call. Yes, I agree 100% with you,
Come
because
on.
I agree
My bad.
that Joe Feedman is not a great offensive line coach. Okay,
What do you think about him, Law?
Okay.
Tell me, what's your?
I mean, that's hiring his buddy, man. It's his buddy. That's his
Come on,
guy.
Law.
I mean, he
Okay.
wanted to keep
I
Matt Nolan,
agree.
but he had to get
Listen.
rid of him.
I agree that Tyron Smith is going to be the injury waiting to happen. At some point, we are going to miss him. I agree 100%. You can go through the history of our offense flying high, and you lose Tyron Smith is like losing the quarterback. Okay, I agree, and I would say instead of going out for the I'm trying to remember from the 49ers. I mean, excuse me, from New England.
Brown.
No, offensive linemen that we've gone through. I mean, we had so many stiffs at tackle that we paid.
You had to go
You know,
through the draft.
it's like this. Here's the thing. Cowboys say, let's go ahead and get a couple of, $2 million guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and just get one good one for about $5 or $6 million and know that he's a guy that can actually be a starter.
I agree.
Instead of saying, we'll get, strength and
You
numbers.
got plenty
on
of
that.
money available, Mark. You got $25 million available to spend. What are we doing? You spent $3 million on Barr. That's big difference a bit.
Only two right now.
With incentives, you get 7 to 3.
Yeah.
Come on, Kibbles and bits. Sure that up. And then,
I mean,
then
I
feel-
would have signed
because
Bobby.
when
I would have
Tyron Smith
signed
goes
Bobby
down,
Wagner myself to be the mentor personally for Micah Parsons.
when Tyron Smith goes down, not only does your pass game change, but your running game changes too, guys.
I mean, you preaching to the
Thank you,
choir.
Captain Obvious. I mean, who out there does not know that
I'm
one?
reiterating.
Yeah.
I'm reiterating.
I mean,
but how does Stephen Jones not know that?
But that's all of the NFL teams. They all.
okay, let's go back. Okay, if Stephen Jones was somehow let go by the Cowboys, how many teams do you think would hire him? If Stephen Jones was let go by the Cowboys, how many teams would hire him to be in charge?
I just pray John Stevens is smarter than him. When he takes over.
Nobody's hiring Stephen Jones.
Since you've been here, and you too, Law, about the emphasis on defense. So the money is obviously going on
the money on defense is nowhere near what's on the offense.
That's
Right?
Offense is still leading.
So you got a guy here that's saying, "Hey man, we need alignment, man." We all agree we need alignment to come up with Smith because
Ooh, hold
he is
on,
proud.
you got the big one over there, the 25 holla.
There you go.
Man, we can pay for these drinks, man. What's good, man?
Is that pound for pound beef?
Pound for pound, what he says over here. He
And
says,
so Mark, so it goes up what I'm saying.
that's
So
what I'm
at the
talking
end of the
about,
day,
my
you can see
favorite
where the
Cowboys YouTube.
direction
Appreciate you,
of the
man.
team is
Thank you,
going.
Oh, definitely.
And it's
We
all
are.
based on what you said
Appreciate you.
earlier, the character of the coach.
Oh,
That
they believe in Dan
that
Quinn.
coach, Quinn has been like in Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, saying, "Hey, if you want us to be successful, you better put some money in."
But they
Go
also
give me a
say
linebacker. Go give me
closed
this.
mouths don't get fed. I believe when we go out there and practice, we hear.
We talk about
We
practice.
talking about practice.
Yes.
We hear the defense.
Yes.
We hear Dan Quinn. We hear Dan Quinn.
Where's Moore? Where's Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore is like,
I don't even think you can find him.
Hey, Quinn is
That's a deck right
Right,
here.
right. He literally.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's soft spoken.
Sauce.
Yeah.
Young kid. He's a young kid.
He's still learning. And there's no shortcut to success.
Mike
You're right about
promise you
that.
guys.
Yep.
Touch that young man and say, "Come here, young fella. Let me show you a little something. Let me show you how I won a Super Bowl.
Well-
let me show you how to use these running backs.
And that's what Mike
Let me
did.
show you how to use your tight end."
Mike McCarthy said, I've been to the Super Bowl. I won
I
playoff
think
games.
Mike in the background is
Yeah.
probably doing a little bit more that's not recognized on that field. I'm
We
just
better
saying.
pray that. Well, he better pray
I'm
that.
hoping he is
Yeah.
this year. Because he's going to be out of a job next year.
No doubt about it.
Jerry's got
This
options.
time.
You got
Can't win this
choices.
Choices. That's
You
what
got
he said.
choices. Jerry got choices.
That's what he said.
And like I said, you
Well,
can't
we all
go.
have
You
choices,
can't go
but
to
you have
your
good
wife.
choices.
You can't go to your wife and say, "Baby, I got choices over here."
Well, it'd be nice
Huh?
to know what
I got
these
choices.
choices are. There ain't that many coaches in the NFL.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
You can't mess with me. I got choices, y'all.
The same.
No, sir.
Hey man, go to your wife and say, "I got choices."
Yeah, my stuff be packed right there in the front.
I'm like, "Hey man," I say, "Mark Holmes, why you sleeping outside with the dog, man?" Hey man, I had choices. You know?
I hit a double ass. I'm not taking that choice right there. Okay, I know better because hey, that's my baby over there. I know. Hey, I know how to get close to the line, but don't cross that.
Hey,
we ain't crossing that.
now speaking of choices, do you guys want to have a choice to speak on anything today? Y'all good? Good?
No, we're good, man. I think,
Good.
I think
You want to say something?
No, we're good. I've already talked to you. We've had our conversation.
We had our
Well,
conversation.
I
That's
think I
what
do
I'm
want to say
talking
something.
about.
I think you guys have been talking about training camp and how different it is, and I've been doing training camp for the last 6 years, and there's been a change.
This is
we
Oscar.
talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's a kinder, softer, gentler NFL.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of money at stake. And so when you get, for an example, a Dak Prescott that gets hurt the first, second day of training,
Yeah.
you're like, hey man, we need to, that's Mike McCarthy, lessons learned.
Yeah.
We are not going to go and hit hard
Oh.
because we need these guys
Yeah.
when real play comes. So unfortunately, what the people that come to see, they want to see hitting, they want to see pounding.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that.
Wait a minute. So are you breaking news? Are you saying that Dak Prescott really got hit and that's what happened to his
I'm
shoulder?
not saying I'm not
What-
saying
are
he
you?
got
Are
hit.
you? That's
All
what
I
happened.
remember is
Huh?
last year,
Oh my.
I remember being there and him throwing the ball, and all of a sudden he's like, "I gotta go," and that was it.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get back in, and the coach said, "You ain't throwing a single ball, not ever again, until you get it right." And you could see that the quarterback was struggling because he wanted to play. He wanted to be part of the training.
Yeah.
And McCarthy, as you know, it was on HBO. They did not
Hard
let him
Knocks.
play one single game in practice, and not even in the preseason.
You're right.
Yeah.
So,
Scared money. Don't make no
so it's a different time, man.
It definitely, because, back in our day, like I said, we did more work in 2 practices than I've seen in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
right
it's been
now.
very fluid.
I mean, 2 days.
Can we really get tougher though? Since McCarthy's his crying call is not remember the Alamo, remember the playoffs.
I tell you
Remember
what,
the playoff. He did.
Remember the
He did
49ers.
say that.
Niners.
Before they said Jerry. Remember the
Yes,
playoffs.
remember the playoffs.
I tell you what, the
Remember
defense
49ers.
looks tough.
First game
Defense do look tough.
playoff
Offense
game
though.
at home.
Offense looks soft.
No, he didn't say these things.
This offense looks soft. This is from a bystander, man.
They look
Came
soft.
all the way from Texas to come.
They look
Watch
soft.
these guys practice.
I love Dak.
He said they look soft.
They look soft.
He got a Dak jersey on, so I know it's objective analysis. You said that. Objective analysis. I love it, man. But
Well, let me just say this on the being soft. I believe that, like everybody said, this is an opportunity. Since we lost Amari Cooper, there is some opportunities, and we saw some good wide receivers, unknown players. Number 16 being one of them, who's a big, tall guy, who makes some great catches. I think you're going to see, you're going to see one of those 2 guys shine. They got to, because there's nobody else that's coming up.
Yeah,
Houston too.
yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Houston definitely has been. All right. Well,
Mark, it's been a good day.
I'm glad
man.
we
It's your
had this
last day here.
time together.
Yeah.
And man, sadly, I've got to turn. I got to turn it on over. This motherfucker laughing at me?
Yeah. Come on. Hey, watch the whole show.
Is that an eagle up there?
Hey,
One of
he
the
been
damn
watching the whole
trolls?
show. He been watching the whole show over here.
What you talking about?
Straight Game of Thrones. You
Game
can
of
see
Thrones.
it.
I gotta say,
Game of Thrones.
this has been a great week being here with Law Nation every day after practice. I'm gonna head back home tonight. I know my man Bosch Lombardi and Skywalker Steel. They're probably here somewhere.
Yeah, they come in. Yeah.
They like I said with Bosch, I was like, Bosch, I hope to see you and stuff like that. It's like, man, I ain't flying in and doing a whole bunch of stuff, man. I'm gonna take it easy and get myself together. Well, you know what? You better make sure you're there at the bar first thing early, because there ain't that many practices left.
Ain't no practices left, yeah.
We've got tomorrow will be like a walkthrough. Sunday they're off. Monday will be salute to service. Shout out to like my man over here is in the Navy. And then Tuesday
Navy.
they will be getting up out of here, and that possibly may be it from Oxnard.
Is it?
So that's going to be about it. And before you know it, it's only like 34 days or so till the opening season game.
Yep. And we can't wait to see that happen.
Yeah.
Cowboy Nation, it's been a wonderful week altogether.
Amen.
At least we have the opportunity to see this. Most teams don't have a chance, so that's why other teams are soft too. Other teams are. They truly are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say, because I've been listening a little bit to, the Eagles channels and stuff.
Right.
Hurts has had some really bad days. Carson Wentz, man, he can't hit the right side of a barn the way they talk. He's getting booed in practice by the Washington fans, the few that are actually there. Okay? So if you actually are hearing fans booing at Washington practice, that's really bad, because they only get like 50 people there. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
I
have not heard. Have you heard about a single practice that Dak has been bad?
No. He's been soft.
Well, especially when they dropped that football on that bucket that last.
Oh my God, that was. You talk about dropping in the breadbasket. He dropped it right into the trash can. It was just like that time his rookie year when he missed the trash can. He picked it up and threw it, but he threw it from like midfield.
He did.
It just dropped. I was like, damn.
Right in there.
He's ready.
He's ready, man. He's
ready.
Moving a little bit faster, guys.
Slim.
He's slimmer, yeah.
Yeah, his uncle Dak, he said he's right about 220. He said he's never seen him so cut that he is right now, and that's coming from family.
Yeah, this Lexall, man. Hey, my name is Law Nation. This is
Mark Holmes, the Jobu Sports Report.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate everybody. Hey, let's go Cowboys. DC for life. Let's go.
Shout out to our fans here. Woo-hoo.
Cowboys.
Next year, we're going to turn this thing blue. Peace.
I want this.
You got to come out.